No worries. Excuse me. But you know what happened? The coach had told that person to go for a 4 at 20 yards, and they could have kicked the field goal.
Good evening. It's now 6 o'clock. Chair will call this November the 15th regular board meeting to order. Looking, clerk has been notified, and I do form. At this time, we will have our oath of order for our probate. Yes,
Judy Bond.
this is Bond. This time we will, guess we do it one at a time.
I, Sylvia Harrison,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I am duly qualified
according to the Constitution of this state
according to the Constitution of this state
to exercise the duties of the office
to exercise the duty of the office
which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve,
protect,
protect, and defend the Constitution of this state
and defend the Constitution of this state
and of the United States.
and of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I, Carl Jackson Jr.,
I, Carl Jackson Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state
according to the Constitution of this state,
to exercise the duty of the office
to exercise the duty of the office
with which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will,
that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve,
and preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution of this state
and defend the Constitution of this state
and of the United States.
and of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Harold Davis,
I, Derek Davis,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state
according to the Constitution of this state,
to exercise the duty of the office
to exercise the duties of the office
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
until I will, to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution of this state
defend the Constitution of this state
and of the United States.
and of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
This is the last one.
Thanks for that. You gotta go like that. You repeat after me. I, Henry Miller,
I, Henry Miller,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified,
according to the Constitution of this state
according to the Constitution of the state,
to exercise the duties of the office
to exercise the duties of this office,
to which I have been elected,
that I have been elected,
and that I will,
that I will,
to the best of my
to
ability,
the best of my ability,
discharge the duties thereof,
discharge the duties thereof,
and preserve,
and preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution
and
of this
defend
state
the Constitution of this state
and of the United States.
and of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God. Again, clap your hands for all the elected officials. Time to turn this part of the meeting to our illustrious superintendent, Dr. Moon.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Miller. So at this time, we are going to have election of board officers. And so what happens is I preside over the nomination and election process for the chair. Once a chair has been elected, then I'll pass it on to the chair And then that person will preside over the nomination of the election of the remaining office. And so I'd like to open up the floor for nominations for board chair for the Fairfield County School District.
Dr. Green,
Yes, ma'am.
I nominate Henry Miller.
Henry Miller's been nominated. Is there a second? Okay, Ms. Green, second that nomination. Any other nomination? Someone move that we bring nominations to close?
Dr. Green, I make a motion, we bring the nominations to a close.
I second. Second that motion. All right, so should be a pretty easy vote right here. We don't have one person on the ballot. So all in favor of Mr. Henry Miller for board chair, please show by raising your hand. Yeah. That's 7-0. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Green. And thank you for trusting me. As I always said, chair just another vote, just like everybody else. It's just that the chair just conducted the meeting. At this time, we're going to move to our vice chair. This time, nominations open for vice chair.
Sixth chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to nominate Sylvia Harrison for vice chair.
This time, Ms. Green is nominating Sylvia Harris for vice chair.
Mr. Chair, I'll second that nomination.
Anybody else? As saying with that one said name, all in for Mrs. Sylvia Harrison for vice chair, show by the raising of the right hand. You're absolutely right. Someone make a motion that we accept the vice chair.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that the nomination come to a close on the one said name. By making a second.
Thank you, I second. Thank you. Motion made by Dr. Harris, second by Reverend Jackson. All in favor? Sylvia Harris for vice chair, show by raising the right hand. That will be 7. Oh, clap your hands for Ms. Sylvia Harris.
I would like to thank y'all again for trusting me to be y'all vice chair. Truly appreciate it.
It's time we will move to our secretary.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I nominate Joe Singh.
I second.
Motion made by Mr. Joe Siegel, second by Mrs. Renee Green. We have a motion
Yeah, action.
nomination.
I make a motion that nomination come to a close.
Was one say a name?
Yes, sir.
I second.
Motion made by Reverend Jackson, second by Sylvia Harris, secretary. All in favor, show by raising the right hand. That would be 7-0. Mr. Siegel, you have anything to say? At this time, we're going to go into executive session for personnel matters, and we won't be long. Superintendent evaluation also.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we enter executive session for personnel matters and superintendent evaluation.
Mr. Chair, I second.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Reverend Jackson. All in favor, show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7. We will try to be back as soon as possible.
No, what? You ran out. Take on the bubble. Bye. See you later.
Oh, you don't have to cook like that. Mama, show it. Mama, look. Thank you. Mama, I don't put the question down.
This whole time I'm not. Yeah, but for now, this is not.
Why? Wait, can you take me the no. No.
Time, we have a motion to exit executive session. No actions were taken.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we exit executive session, no actions taken, provided I get a second.
Second such motion.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Dr. Harris. To exit executive session, no actions taken. Show by the raising of the hand, right hand. That would be 7-0. At this time, I would just like to welcome everyone to this November the 15th regular school board meeting. We appreciate you supporting our school district. Every child, every teacher, custodians, bus drivers, we thank all of you. This time, we're going to have our pledge of allegiance and flag and our moment silent by our secretary, Mr. Susan.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and for silence. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Amen.
Time, we'd like to approve the agenda as is.
The chair,
The motion.
chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I second.
Motion made by Mayor Green, second by Pastor Jackson. All in favor, accept the agenda as presented, show by raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Do we have any public comment Mr. Secretary, no, sir. Thank you. This time we have a presentation from Boys and Girls Club.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Appreciate the opportunity to be here. People's reaching out and giving us this opportunity. So I want to thank you. We're here tonight. My name is James Brown, not the Godfather. I do feel good though. But my wife says, stop saying that. But at any rate, on a serious note, we're here for Troy things, so I'm going to bring up in a minute. Second director of Boys and Girls Clubs Business, which includes Lexington, Richmond, Fairfield, Newberry counties. And he's going to give an update on what's going on. It's great things we're doing with Boys and Girls Clubs here in Fairfield County. And one of the things that I agree with this is I didn't share with, and I'll bring Troy up. I attended schools in Fairfield County. But I did not live in, when I was probably 8, 9, 10 years old, which over 60 years ago, we stayed, my brothers and I, we stayed the summer with our grandparents in the Greenbrier area where my dad was born. And at that time, the schools in Fairfield County started a week before they did in Richmond County. So we were already here. And so my grandma said, well, you can catch the bus and go to school. I said, we don't go there. She said, well, you go. You were here and you just need to go. Well, when we got to that school, McCrory Liston, I think another was Kelly Dillon. We went to, my brothers went to one, I went to another brother. And they said, introduce yourself, everybody. And I said my name, and I said, but I don't know here. They said, that's okay. We're gonna give you some textbooks, and you're gonna be here. And so I went to my two brothers to schools in Fairfield County for a whole week. And I almost felt like that's where we should have been. And so that was quite interesting, like I said, probably 55, 60 years ago. So I wanted to appreciate say I did attend schools in Fairfield. I want to bring that up. So at this time, I'm going to bring up Troy thing.
Well, thank you, Dr. Green. Thank you, board, for giving us this quick opportunity. I see underneath me that there's some outstanding students being recognized. So I'm going to be brief. Okay, just want to give a kind of a quick update of who we are. The Boys and Girls Clubs has had a great partnership with Fairfield for somewhat almost 15 years now. And just to let you know who we are our mission statement to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, responsible, and caring citizens. I'll come back to that in just a minute, okay? Just to let you know how serious we are about that mission. But the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Midlands, as JP said, we serve Richland, Lexington, Fairfield, and Newberry counties. We serve 45 locations throughout that, and actually are one of the largest Boys and Girls Clubs in the nation. Something that we're very proud of, and it's the opportunity to serve your students and your young people and partner with you. We're currently serving about 4,000 children, almost 3,000 a day across those 4 counties. So how do we do that? A formula for impact. We have a very evidence-based program called Formula for Impact. Young people who need us most, which we all know, right? Plus outcome-driven experiences, right? Fun with a purpose. Making sure that they have supportive relationships, regular attendance, and being a part of targeted programs gives us the priority outcomes that we're all looking for, right? Those are academic success, character and good character and citizenship, and healthy lifestyles, right? So how do we do that? We do that very purposefully, like we said. Each day we do a program called Power Hour, which is 1 hour of homework, right? It's the most important hour that day after the school day is over. And providing young people with the space, the resources, and the ability to have a space where they can do their homework, right? After that, we go into our programmings, and we're serious about our programmings. We actually just had a flag football tournament, which is a part of our program. It's not an extracurricular recreational piece. This is actually part of our program, where we had children from all over the state of South Carolina come and compete. Our members from Giger came in third place out of 45 programs. So I want to give them a round of applause, please. I'm very proud of. So 97% of our participants are completing homework daily. Here's some statistics. 98% of our participants are planning to go to college. They may not know they're in college yet, right? But they know that they're planning to go to college. They already starting to think about that secondary education, right? Or what they're doing next. So it leads to results tomorrow. I want to let you know that this is a statistic that I'm very proud of, and also gives me heartache every day, which we have 95% of our parents state that they are satisfied, very satisfied with our program. I want to find that last 5%. I know that's a challenge, right? But I'm trying to find it, right? So it keeps us gray here, getting grayer each day. I want to make sure that we provide the support that everybody needs each day. Guys, we are 10 years in a row best in Columbia. Notice that is voted on by all of our friends from the Free Times, but is from all this community, right? So our support for Fairfield, Newberry, Richland, and Lexington County. I just wanted to personally just take the opportunity to say thank you all for providing the Boys and Girls Club the opportunity to serve your youth, be a part of your program, be a part of your community. And we hope to expand that even more in the coming years. Thank you again, Dr. Green, Superintendent. Now let's go see some very young people come through and get recognized, okay? Thank you all, good night. Have a good day. Call Dr. Avery.
Good evening. Good evening. Tonight, we're going to recognize students from Fairfield Magnet School, along with Kelly Miller Elementary School. And Board Chair, if it's okay, I'm going to start with Kelly Miller first. Kelly Miller, Principal Kathy Woodard, along with her assistant principal, Yolanda Fields, along with Dr. Green, if you could join us down front, would like to recognize Ryan Henrich for receiving a perfect score on the South Carolina State Exam, SC Ready in Mathematics. And Ryan, if you could come up, please. Ryan is an exceptionally well-rounded sixth grade scholar who excels in the classroom in all core subjects. Ryan sets high academic standards for himself every academic quarter while remaining on the principal's A honor roll. He is the 2022-23 Beta President and a member of the Principal Student Advisory Committee and the Tide for Success Mentoring Program. Ryan also participates in pre-algebra enrichment and plays the trombone on the sixth grade band. His dream is to become an engineer, and there is no doubt that he will fulfill his dream. Kelly Miller is extremely proud of our scholar, and also he scored exemplary in ELA and math on SC Ready. Let's give him a round of applause.
Now, if I can just make a comment, this young man scored a perfect score, you said, on SC Ready Mathematics. There are probably less than 1% of students across the state of South Carolina who scored a perfect score. I don't know if I scored a perfect score on anything. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're already better than me. And so a perfect score is rare air. I mean, that means perfect. And so we have some students who did well, we have some students who did very well, but we're not talking about well or very well. We're talking about a perfect score. I mean, he didn't get anything wrong. All right, so that deserves another round of applause.
Now, we want to thank you all for your patience as we move forward with celebrating scholars from Fairfield Magnet School for Math and Science, a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. So first, we are going to start with Salvador Basabi. And Salvador earned exemplary in ELA reading and math. We want to get one group picture with everybody. You can do individual. You're the superintendent. And the Salvador, you can stand to the left, and we'll do a group picture. Next is Kyasia Bradley. She earned exemplary in math and science. Brylan Brown earned exemplary in ELA and reading. Jerome Burns earned exemplary in ELA and reading. Carter earned exemplary ELA in reading. Brielle Cook earned exemplary in all 4 areas, ELA, reading.
Everybody come in here, gotta take a picture with me.
London Brown earned exemplary in math and science. Remedy Cook earned exemplary in ELA, math, and science. Janaya Pramati earned exemplary in ELA and reading. Kyle Caravo earned exemplary in ELA reading and math. Austin Curtis earned exemplary in ELA and science. Paris Davis earned exemplary in ELA reading and math. Emily Dickens, earned exemplary in ELA and reading. Parker Douglas earned exemplary in all 4 areas, and Parker also achieved a perfect score in math.
That's Elliot, not Parker.
Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot.
His brother is Parker.
Jay Douglas earned exemplary in ELA and reading. Jalea Douglas earned exemplary ELA in reading. Ahmed El Bayomi earned exemplary in all 4 areas. This is a double threat. His sibling, Jasmine El Bayomi, earned exemplary in all 4 areas as well. Matthew Evans earned exemplary in all 4 areas. Toby Foster earned exemplary in all 4 areas. And Katie Frazier earned exemplary in ELA and math. And we're going to do one group. This is the first group. We're going to do a group picture. This is the first group.
If I get on
Give them a round of applause.
Mama, there's 2 more.
All right, we split them into 2 groups because of the sheer size of the group, which is a great problem to have.
Yes, it is.
So the second group starts with Alex Gambrell, and he earned exemplary in reading and math. Nathan Gibson earned exemplary in ELA, reading, and math. Jay Breon Hines earned exemplary in math and science. Jordan Jameson earned exemplary in ELA, reading, and science. Anaya Johnson earned exemplary in ELA and reading. Sanjana Kumar earned exemplary in all 4 areas. Sanjana also achieved the highest attainable score in science. Brianna Lanier earned exemplary in ELA, math, and science. Dallas Lee Friend earned exemplary in ELA and reading. Samuel McCullough earned exemplary in ELA, reading, math, and science. Layla McMillan earned exemplary in all 4 areas. Tariq Mills earned exemplary in all 4 areas. Shania Mobley earned exemplary in all 4 areas. Alexia Montgomery earned exemplary in reading and ELA. Michael Moore earned exemplary in reading, ELA, and math. Jaquin Morgan earned exemplary in ELA, reading, and math. Arya Patel earned exemplary in reading, ELA, and math. Billie Jean Pennington earned exemplary in reading and ELA. Jasmine Perez Flores earned exemplary in math and science. Jania Perry earned exemplary in reading, ELA, and math. Landon Rabb earned exemplary in reading, ELA, and science. Logan Rabb earned exemplary in math and science.
You don't have his?
Tate Ranston earned exemplary in ELA and math. Deshaun Ruff earned exemplary in reading, ELA, and math. Anya Scott earned exemplary in reading, ELA, and math. Pronounce your name. Anya, got it. Anya Scott. Drila Simmons earned exemplary in reading and math. Aliana Smith earned exemplary in reading and ELA. Casey Squirrel earned exemplary in reading and ELA. Lanaya Williams earned exemplary in reading, ELA, and science. Chloe Young earned exemplary in all 4 areas. And Chloe also achieved a perfect score in math on SAT. My Angel Young earned exemplary in reading and ELA. My Anna Young earned exemplary in all 4 areas. All right, time for picture number 2.
Okay, y'all shift this one.
Don't cover your face. Bring your phone.
Outstanding. Now, parents, we're gonna give you time to get the building. I know you got to go to work. Yeah. Excellent job. Parents, uncles, brothers, sisters, brothers, cousins, take a village to raise a child. It's always. Thank you for your. Thank you. Wonderful. What's up, man? We got the smartest kids in the world.
Nico, I'm staying.
All
You
right.
ain't got no, well, you can literally come home with me. Mayor Davis.
Okay, baby.
All right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
All right, Miss Ma'am. How the babies doing?
They doing good.
Doing good? Okay, good to see.
Yes, ma'am. Take care now.
You too.
At this time, I have a motion to the board minutes for October 18th regular call board meeting.
Chair,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
make a motion, we accept the superintendent to approve the minutes from the October 18th regular call board meeting.
I say.
Motion made by Ms. Harris, second by Mr. Davis to approve the minutes on our October 18th, 2022 board meeting. Anybody got any questions on it? All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That will be 7-0. This time we have our superintendent report.
Chairman Miller, members of the board, you know, as I reflected on our latest recognition at Fairfield Magnet School for Math and Science, I really had to just reflect on the fact that we have been in the midst of a historic run in Fairfield High School. And sometimes as you recognize various accomplishments, you don't necessarily look at it in a broader context. Okay, and so
when we think about the fact that in 2020, we had the South Carolina State Teacher of the Year. Okay. And then in 2021, to have the South Carolina State Superintendent of the Year. And then in 2022, to be awarded a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence Award, one of only 296 schools across the country. That is a historic that we want to do. And I would dare say that you probably won't be able to find a district anywhere that has been on such a run. Okay, and obviously we are very grateful for all of those recognitions. But I think we need to take a step back just to acknowledge how very impressive that run is. So I felt compelled to share that information with our audience this morning. In addition to Fairfield Magnet School being recognized as a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, we got word on last week that Fairfield Magnet School is also going to be recognized as an ESA. ESA is Elementary Secondary Education Act, National Distinguished School. And there are only 2 selected from the state of South Carolina. Let me say that one more time. 2 selected. And so we will have a group of individuals to include Dr. Whitfield and maybe even me as well. I don't know. I'm scared. Who will be traveling to Indianapolis, Indiana, to receive that award. So that just further contributes to what I was saying earlier, which is that we're on a historic run here in Fairfield County. I want to give the Fairfield County School District Orchestra and its Wise a shout out.
Yes.
I tell you, they performed, as Wise and the orchestra performed at the most recent Partners Breakfast last Thursday, I think it was. And literally, they had tears in my eyes. I mean, they just did an absolutely phenomenal job. And she is, in addition, I can't remember the middle school teacher's name off the top of my head, but she has not been here as long as Wise. But they are doing a tremendous job of building an orchestra program to the point that we've had to purchase some additional instruments. That is very that we had to purchase some additional instruments. So let's continue to support Ms. Wise and the Fairfield County School District Orchestra program. Ms. Harrison, I told your dad when I first came in, I said, man, you missed a good game Friday. We went up to Silver Bluff and brought back the win, and the folks from Silver Bluff, I think, were a little shocked out there. And I think they thought that they had an easy victory since they were home. But I'm here to tell you that defense played lights out down at Silver Bluff. I mean, they played absolutely lights out. The offense played well also, so we won 22-8. And now we get the privilege of traveling up to Abbeville, which has been a perennial power throughout South Carolina. And so we look forward to tangling with Abbeville this coming Friday. I am encouraging all who are able to attend. We want a big crowd up in Abbeville. We had a pretty good crowd down in Silver Bluff. Yeah, we had a nice crowd down in Silver Bluff. And we're looking for an even better crowd down in Abbeville. And if we beat Abbeville, I'm already claiming it, Pastor Jackson. They got to claim it. When we beat Abbeville, I suspect we'll be home for that 4th round. Because I think the team that we may play will be a higher seed, and we may be able to come home. So I told the dad, Ms. Harrison, if you don't make it to Abbeville, don't worry about it. You get to see us next Friday. We'll be home playing the winner of that next round. So very excited about what the football team is doing. Let me talk a little bit about the calendar. And so I appreciate Dr. Avery and the teacher forum for putting out a proposed calendar. I think they have until November 28th to complete the feedback on the proposed calendar. It is a modified balanced calendar as well. Dr. Avery shared that we've had over 200 responses to the calendar. And there was one thing that jumped out at me and having some conversations relative to the calendar. Starting at the end of July was a lot different than starting at the beginning of August.
Yes, it is.
And I think it might be a psychological effect, Green, because I think this calendar only starts one day earlier than the old calendar. But in the minds of someone looking at the calendar, just that July just makes it seem so early. And so there are a couple of changes that Dr. Avery and the teacher forum are proposing in a calendar 2 version, is to start potentially August 2nd instead of the end of July. But now what that's going to do is that's going to cause us to make some adjustments along the way in the calendar. And I want to talk about if we end up going with this version 2, we're going to have to make a few changes there. Now, we still going to get out of school by the end of May with this new calendar. But the intercession days will go from 4 days, from 5 days to 4 days. Okay. Now it'll still be a full week. And you say, how's it a full week if it's only 4 days? Well, the first intercession is in October, and the first day of the week is a professional development day. So what happened is the students will have a full week, but teachers will only have 4 days because they're in professional development. The second intercession week, the first day will be President's holiday. So you'll still be out on that 19th, and then you'll have 4 intercession days. So you'll still have a full week. Now, folks always have to recognize when you start later, then that means you either going to get out later or you're going to have to give something up in the middle. All right. And so a calendar always has to be some compromise somewhere because there are a certain number of days that you have to have on calendar. All right. And so even though we received some good feedback, I like what Dr. Avery and the committee is proposing for a version 2. Hopefully that will alleviate some of the concerns that people have. But we look forward to feedback on that calendar as well. As I said, I'm gonna be here either way, every day. You know what I mean? I'm already taking the time off the screen, so I can do whatever calendar they come up with. But we want to find the best calendar that suits the needs of our teachers, our students, our parents, and the broader community. And I think we are very close to being there. There were some questions about whether we'll stick with a modified balance calendar or whether we'll go back to a traditional calendar. I'll tell you the feedback that I have heard from staff members and students is that no, we don't want to go back to it. We like this calendar. We like these breaks. Now, y'all thought teachers were looking forward to those breaks. Students were looking forward to those breaks much more than teachers. You know, I know teachers think y'all need a break from students, but students need a break from y'all too. And so the students also said to the man, I'm so happy we had that break. I needed that break, and looking forward to the next break. So I think people have kind of got accustomed to this. They kind of like these additional breaks during the year. But in the day that they don't, we can always go back. It's great. Yeah, so we aren't tied to it. We can always go back. But I don't know if that's kind of where people want to go. Okay, I think people are pretty happy with the current calendar. Next, I will talk about COVID-19 a bit. Knock on wood, COVID is still in pretty good shape. We probably have seen more in terms of flu than we have COVID. And so I am continuing to encourage everyone, not only get your COVID vaccine, but get your flu vaccine. And you know, for years, I didn't get a flu vaccine. Years, I didn't get a flu vaccine. Until one day I was principal at Central High School, Bissau, and that flu put something on me. My God, man, that flu put something on me. I didn't know how rough that flu could be. And after that, I said, man, I better start getting this flu vaccine. And so since then, I've been getting my flu vaccine every year. My last physical, I ended up getting my flu and my COVID booster the same day. I'm talking to my wife, my daughter, make sure you get your flu vaccine so you don't bring that flu home to me. So
So we want to make sure. We had several instances of students kind of contracting that flu at several of our schools. And that flu's been going around probably as aggressively as COVID-19. So let's continue to encourage everyone within our spheres of influence to get that flu vaccine as well. As relates to COVID, when we look at, since we last met, these are student cases. We didn't have any cases the week of November 7th through 11th, but we did have 3 student cases the week of October 31st through November the 4th. No cases the week prior to that or the week prior to that. So we are still in very good shape. You saw we were at 0 and one little blip on the radar where we had 3 student cases, but we're back down to 0 as far as we've done. And I always like to add that caveat because that's only the cases that are being reported to us. If someone tests positive and that's reported to us, then obviously we won't be able to reflect it because they are no longer required to go to DHEC and DHEC that manage those numbers. With so many home tests, people can test positive and never let anyone know about it. Our staff cases, we had 0 cases the week of November 7th through 11th, 0 cases the week of October 31st through 4th, 1 staff case the week of October 24th through 28th. And no staff cases the week of October 1st to October 17th to October 21st. So we're, folks, knock on wood, we're still doing very well relative to COVID. I think that's a function of a couple of different things. First of all, I think we have many more people who are being vaccinated. I think that's a good thing. And I think we have a lot of people who have just developed natural immunity. Because the more people get COVID, the more natural immunity exists as well. So hopefully we don't have a surge as we head into the winter months, but right now we're in pretty good shape. Any questions about anything that I just presented? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. In regards to the flu, are the children parents responsible to notifying that they've gone to DHEC or they've been tested as positive for the flu?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, Ms. Green. So DHEC has some guidelines in place relative to what is considered to be, and I'm going to give you the wrong word, but not epidemic, but for lack of a better word, epidemic. And what happens is when we are notified by parents that we have so many flu cases in a class or in a school past a certain percentage, then we are required to notify DHEC. Now, the caveat to that is they have to notify us. So in other words, if you took your son or daughter home, you let them stay home for 6-7 days, and then you just sent them back and you never told us, then we would never know it was a matter of an issue with the flu. But I'll tell you, we've had very good information from parents. The parents have been notifying us for the most part. And so we've had a couple of instances where we've had 3 or 4 kids in a class that contracted flu. Okay. Now, the high school has a flu clinic scheduled, I think, sometime soon, or maybe happened recently, where they can take a flu shot. We partner with some agency where they can take a flu shot at school. And so we're doing all we can to encourage people and make it as convenient as possible for individuals to take the flu shot. And even if you didn't get the flu shot through one of these partnerships, you can go to CVS, and it's pretty easy to just schedule an appointment, go in and out in no time. Last time I was there picking up some medication, there were some people there who were there for the flu shot. They went in, they had an appointment, pharmacists came out, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and they were gone. So there are lots of opportunities for us to receive the flu shot, and we want to continue to encourage that. I know you all have been watching the news and seeing that flu, in addition to the respiratory illness that children have, RSV, have been really pretty rough. I mean, in some of our pediatric hospitals and pediatric wards have been just about full. And so there's not as much COVID right now. That RSV and flu is really causing a lot of problems. Okay, and I think they're coming out with an RSV vaccine very soon. They don't have one yet. but let's continue to encourage people within our city to get vaccinated. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chair, so did, we sent a survey out to the parents, or it was just to the staff and the students?
For the calendar?
Calendar?
Yeah, so we went out to everyone, right on Cass Well. Go ahead, Mrs.
It went out to everyone with the exception of students, and it went out to students on tomorrow.
Okay. So will the teachers start back on the second, or the students start back on August second, if you change this on the calendar?
The students will start back on the second.
On the second, okay. All right.
And so, Ms. Harris, what I'll say is, relates to the calendar, and we can always, tweak it and work with it. But, if folks, we want to start that later, that just means you get out later. And so right now, the way Dr. Avery and her team has put the calendar together, we get out by the end of May. So we don't have to go to school in June. You keep pushing it back, now you're going to be in school in June. Now, it's or you take days during the year. You follow me? So, for example, I think even with the revised calendar, we have a full week off during Thanksgiving. So you can say, well, I want to come back later. Do we take some days during Thanksgiving? Do we not have a full week? Do we have 3 days off during Thanksgiving? So it's you can always massage it, but if you start later, then you probably got to give something up. Either give up some days at Thanksgiving, give up some days at Christmas, get out later. And I was talking to one of my colleagues, and they had asked how much time we had off for Thanksgiving. I said, we got a whole week off for Thanksgiving. But everyone didn't get a week off for Thanksgiving. Okay, there's some people who may get off that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right. So there is some room to make some adjustment. But probably what most people don't say is, I want a week off till Thanksgiving, even though they may want to start that later. So I look forward to getting the feedback from the number 2 version. And what Dr. Avery and her team has done a good job of is to listen to the feedback, receive the feedback, and try and incorporate the feedback into a revised edition. Okay.
Will they get out like after Memorial Day, or is it after Memorial Day? Because I know some people question that, like they would like to get out that Friday before Memorial Day, but it's probably afterwards, right?
When is Memorial Day? 27th, yeah. So this calendar here, Ms. Harrison, they would get out, last day would be May 31st. So they would get out, a couple days after Memorial Day. And once again, you could figure out a way to get out for Memorial Day. You'd have to start earlier, or you have to cut the days out during the year.
Well, the biggest concern that was brought to my attention was you got these STEM kids that go to school for 2 or 3 weeks during the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And then the teachers teaching, then they, got to turn around and go right back. So yeah, that was kind of the biggest concern. A lot of them are burnt out, the ones that was teaching some school, and then you got these kids that gotta go, to the STEM program. So they in there, what, 3 weeks? Is it 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. That was one of the concerns.
But I'm gonna tell you now, I don't know if I've spoken to one kid, one student who wasn't in favor of the modified downtown. I mean, the students, even with that, the students are willing, at least the ones who are talking to me, like the fact that they get breaks of the year. Now they might feel as if it's a little taxi during the summer, and they might come back maybe a little earlier than they like. But by the time they get to that first intercession, it seems to be all working. I met with the superintendent student advisory committee probably about 2 weeks ago. And that's my opportunity to just get feedback from the students in grades 7 through 12. And that was very consistent with all the students who were there. Is we love the intersection. Don't change it. Any other questions?
What day did you say that the teachers were going to have the calendar in mind?
On that revised calendar?
Yes.
Yeah, so on the revised calendar, the teachers would come back, students would come back August 2nd, teachers would come back on the 26th, July 26th.
But I meant in regards to submitting it to you. When is it due back to you by with a decision or their vote?
we're planning, the committee, we plan to, talk through the remainder of the feedback that we received, probably toward the end of this week. And then the game plan is for us to incorporate, version 2 and send that back out. So that everybody can give us additional feedback on version number 2. So right now, the version that is out for public comment or public feedback is version number 1. But the version number 2 will likely go out. Hopefully I can get it out when we get back the next day. We get some feedback. But the goal is for you all to have the opportunity for first reading in December. So that gives our stakeholders the opportunity to plan in advance regarding anything that they need to do on their schedule. So we get first reading in December, followed by in January, we final reading. That's what I'm hoping for.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Curriculum and instruction, Dr. Davis.
Good evening again. For your approval, is a overnight out-of-state field trip request for Fairfield Central High School. The orchestra of Fairfield Central High School will be participating in the Newberry Honors Orchestra Clinic, and the Fairfield Central High School basketball girls basketball team will be participating in She Got Net competition in Greenville, South Carolina.
Motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the out-of-state overnight field trip request for Fairfield Central High School.
A second.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Ms. Green. For our out-of-state field trip. You have any questions? Any questions? All in favor, show by raising of right hand. That would be 7. Okay.
All right, the next item is the approval of the 2022, 2023 instructional materials, which are our textbooks, and these recommendations are brought to you for your approval.
Can we get a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the instructional materials, district selection recommendations for adoption for the 22-23 school year.
Can I get a second?
Second such motion.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Dr. Harris, to approve the material textbook district selection recommendation for adoption. All in favor? No, I call question. Any question? All in favor, show by raising of right hand. That would be 7. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Operations and finance. Mr. Robinson.
Good evening. Item number 1 under operations and finance is the October 2022 finance report for board review. This report is pretty normal for this time of year. It's nothing unusual. If you have any questions?
Everything going steady.
Yes, sir. Everything's steady.
You conservative, man. That's right. You keep us, you keep your hand on the pulse. All right. Anybody got any questions? Ms. Robinson? Okay.
And the second item is a facility usage request. And the superintendent recommends the board approve facility usage request with waiver of fees for Fairfield Behavioral Health, their usage of the Fairfield Career and Technology Center on November 29, 2022. And there's information included about the event in the board documents.
Can we get a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the facility usage request with waiver fees for Fairfield Behavior Health, usage of the Fairfield Career and Technology Center on November 29th, 2022.
I second.
Okay. Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Mrs. Green. Facility use for our Fairfield County Career Center. All in favor, show by raising of the right hand. That would be 7-2. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Human resource. I'm sorry.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. This evening, under Human Resources, item 1, the superintendent recommends the board approve certified resignations and terminations presented in Exhibit 1.
Need a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation to approve certified resignation termination in Exhibit 1.
Second such motion.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Dr. Harris, accept the superintendent recommendation. All in favor, show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-2.
Next, under item 2, the superintendent recommends the board approve certified professional educators presented in Exhibits 2A and 2B.
Sir Chair,
Can we get a motion?
Sir Chair, I recommend the superintendent recommendation for the board approval for certified personnel educators, professional educators in Exhibit A, 2A, and 2B.
We have a second.
I second.
Motion made by Ms. Green, second by Ms. Harrison for our superintendent recommendation, educators A and B. All in favor, show by raising the right hand. That would be 6-0. Proceed, you have anything?
No, I chose not to vote because someone in B is a close relative of mine.
Thank you. That's well noted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board chair report. Just wanted to, I really wanted to congratulate all the board members who were elected back. And said, I won't give them a hard hand we have a good board. I've been on the board 16 years. I call it the cowboy day. Ms. Robinson knows what I'm talking about. Those were some rough days. And this board right here is just sad. And not put nobody down, but we can come a long way. We may not always agree. That's all right. That's all right. I don't agree with my wife all the time. But our goal is to come together and make this a great district, which it is. You talk about, Dr. Green was talking about, teacher of the year, superintendent of the year, national blue ribbon school. I mean, the awards just keep on coming. It's stuff that I'm probably forgot. It's just an outstanding school district. And I'm gonna say this right here, I'm shut up. Award for all, I pray it's on the phone. I'm tell you that would care about you too. Anybody got anything else to know?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Green, I wore my magnet school shirt to Eager today, and them kids asked me why I got this shirt on. And I was like, I didn't realize they was paying attention, but they were. Mr. Harrell, Federico Harrell, is having a dance, performance tomorrow at the high school. I think it started at 6:30. So if anybody, if all of us can attend, support that group. And also our Feeding Fairfield committee will be, feeding December 11th at the middle school. Is from 12 to 2. And it's a drive-by, so drive through, you don't have to get out, we'll hand it to you. And I was approved to have my gala February 25th. So yeah, I'll put that on the calendar. If you can attend, I appreciate it. I know Ms. C said he was gonna attend next year. Ms. C. 25th. Oh, yeah, it would be at the National Guard Army, same place. And I'll get more information out. Just want y'all to put the date down.
Thank you, Sarah. And Ms. Green?
Yes, I would like to touch on our children that we recognize this evening for their academic excellence. We had 53 children.
Yeah.
And out of the 53 children, we had 13 total to make exemplary in all 4 areas. We had 11 to make exemplary in 3 of the 4 areas. I would like to encourage all 53 to continue and let the ones that had 2 or 1 to know that if you can do 1 or 2, you can do 4. I just want them to realize that they have potential, they just to shine. That's all. We have the children that are able, and we have been proven to compete with others that are socially, economically advanced or higher income than we are. But we have a potential. And I just want our children and our teachers and parents to realize that we can do this. Thank you. I just want to encourage them.
Yeah, let me just comment on
Ms. Green said, Dr. Avery shared with me that we will have all of our schools come before the board at some point in time and recognize students based on last year's summative assessment. The Magnet School was the first. Kelly Miller will come back before you. They just wanted to recognize a young man who had a perfect score. So they'll come back and recognize students who had multiple exemplaries as well. The same way the Magnet School. But Ms. Green hit the nail on the head that we have students who can compete with students anywhere in the world. So when people say, are the students in Fairfield as smart as students anywhere? The answer is a resounding yes. Okay, our students are as competitive as anyone. We talk about a perfect score. Let's remember, we take the same test as every other kid in South Carolina. So the kid from Fairfield makes a perfect score, exemplary, that's the same test, the kid from Greenville, kid from Myrtle Beach, the kid from all over Charleston, the same test, everyone they take the same test. All right. And our students are scoring as high as anyone. And so our students are in the perfect score range in the 95th percentile and the 98th percentile. And so, we have some students doing an absolutely tremendous job. And sometimes I think we don't acknowledge that and we don't recognize that. But as Mr. Miller said earlier, take a full frog not to praise his own mother and acknowledge the outstanding things that our young people are doing right here in Fairfield County. And I felt as proud as a peacock. When I was in Washington, D.C. When I was in Washington, D.C., walking around with those other 296 schools from across the country, whether you're from California or Colorado or Montana or New York or where we were from, but I'm from Fairfield County. It's we right in the mix here. We right among the best of the best right here in Fairfield County. So, we got to toot our own horn as well and let people know about the exciting things that we are going on right here in Fairfield. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anything else?
Could I say one?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Wise, I had the fortune of meeting Miss Wise when she first came to our district and seeing what she began with in regards to equipment, instruments, and children. she has made tremendous progress with our orchestra. And again, it just goes to show that it's not from where you are, it's what you're exposed to. And as I always say, exposure is so important. And she has exposed our children to instruments that they didn't even think about. And she's doing a great job. Thank you, Ms. Wise.
She's doing a phenomenal job. She's gonna be a phenomenal job. That's a good round of applause for that.
Go to the next part. I wanted y'all to know, you don't know, I know, somebody called. Tomorrow is Dr. Green's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Who would have called you on that?
So, happy birthday. Also, just our South Carolina School Board Association Legislative Conference that's going to be coming up and getting ready to go on. Just wanted to, Ms. Brown, everybody know that our checks will be ready on November the 3rd.
My birthday.
Okay. So, November 3rd, just everybody took that down. Everybody enough. Right. So now our South Carolina School Board Association Legislative Conference delegate and alternate. And we need to pick our delegate, and we need to pick alternate.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I recommend Darrell Davis as the representative for, I don't know who the alternate gonna be, but that's my recommendation.
I think we voted, right?
Well, do I have to make a motion?
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll make a motion that Darrell Davis be our representative.
I second that motion.
Motion made by Reverend Jackson, second by do we have any more? All in favor of Mr. Davis for being our legislative delegate for 2022 in South Carolina, show by raising the right hand. That would be 7-0.
Now, we're gonna have an alternate.
Yes, sir. We got to make a motion for all.
If it's in order, I'd like to make a motion that Joe City be the alternate.
I second it.
Wow. All right. Motion made by Pastor Jackson that Mr. C be our alternate, second by Mrs. Green, Virginia Green. All in favor, show by raising the right hand. That'd be 7-0. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna put that out here. Make sure I got it. Right. All right. There's no more announcement. Do we get a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second best motion.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Dr. Harris, to adjourn. All in favor, show by raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Thank you. Oh, no. Yo. I know, and I know Ms. Harris doing what you call it, but I wanna send out us to recognize that,
we got word that, Ms. Harris's mother's not doing well. And, let's send out a prayer for her. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And she's not doing well in a big fashion. So, y'all take care.
Yes. Okay, so email me, is it, it's fine, I guess. Okay.